Defendant Mr. White to court to prove to him that he is not your biological father, even though he has believed he's your father your entire life.
Yes, Your Honor.
The man you now say is your father is waiting in the hallway and will join us in court in a moment. Mr. White. To Nala.
What?
Manning Smith.
Then who could it be then? Because that was the only guy I was dealing with. Then who could it be? Can I leave?
Are not the father.
There you go. I rest my case, Your Honor. Look, I'm sorry, but hey, it's out of my hands now.
Miss Walters wanted the plaintiff to accept paternity and finally step up to the role of the father. Sounds simple enough, right? If only that were the case. Because Mr. Johnson wasn't about to fall for the baby mama's manipulation again. Or so he claimed. Oh, this drama's gonna be juicy. I can feel it.
Things were shaded from the first day.
हेलो सबको। तो ये वीडियो में हम देखेंगे कि लव सेक्स एंड धोखा किसने किसको ठोका। कौन है बाप, कौन है बकवास, कौन है साइड का अफेयर और कौन है सीरियस वाला फेयर। अमेरिकन कल्चर, वेस्टर्न कल्चर कहाँ से कहाँ जा रहा है, कहाँ कहाँ था, ये सब इसमें दिख जाएगा। पैटर्निटी कोर्ट में जो केस फाइल्स होते हैं कि कौन है बाप इस बच्चे का, आपको पता है? माँ को तो नहीं पता, बाप को भी नहीं पता, सबको डाउट है कौन है बाप यार, कितनों के साथ सोई। इसने उसको धोखा दिया तो उसने बदले में उसको धोखा दिया, उसने उसको धोखा दिया तो फिर उसने उसको धोखा दिया। ये धोखे का सिलसिला रुकता ही नहीं। और उसके बाद फिर पैटर्निटी कोर्ट में केसेस फाइल। ओ माय गॉड, क्या से क्या देखने को मिलेगा, आप देखिए और एंजॉय कीजिए और लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब करो और ऐसे वीडियोस के लिए।
Well, the financial transactions and the phone interactions left a lot to wonder about, that's for sure. Moving on, Miss Walters dropped the bombshell on baby daddy's head, and his response? A nonchalant congratulations. Yup. Now, the protection was on or off? That was the real question. Baby daddy believed it was. The mommy? Not so much.
She called me or whatever, and she said she was pregnant. I told her congratulations, and she was like, I'm telling you, cause it might be yours. I'm like, what? Cause I bought a box of condoms as soon as I got to the city. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying it was protected sex for you because you had already decided you were going.
I had a whole girlfriend and a wife. Why would I not use protection?
Time to examine the window of conception.
Say that she looked like me, she didn't look like him, she didn't look like nobody. She
I ain't got
like
that picture of the other dude. Know what I'm talking about?
What other dude?
The whole dude you man.
Now, baby mama was sure Mr. Johnson was her guy, and she had definite proof of that as well. Good for her, because the court runs on proof of evidence. The defendant had the other guy already tested for paternity, and yet the plaintiff wasn't falling for those results. Nuh-uh.
Probability of paternity was determined to be 0.00%.
Yes, Your Honor. I found out I was pregnant December 27th. When I went
this court, Mr. Johnson, you are not the father. Ms. Walters, Mr. Johnson is not Amir's biological father, so clearly there is a third guy.
Imagine encountering your ex-girlfriend a full 24 years after a painful breakup.
Her sister might know, my family might know. How are you the only one that don't know?
Excuse me, I'm talking. It don't matter. It does. It don't. So therefore,
did you just let her disrespect your mother?
Yeah, real bad.
I'm sorry, I had to catch that.
Come again?
Honestly, I don't even know why she over there. She don't do nothing.
It doesn't matter.
After 2 decades, imagine the shock of discovering that the man you believe to be your father is now denying his paternity. It's utterly bewildering, isn't it? Poor Miss Tucker finds herself in this very situation, standing before the court, desperately trying to prove that her father is indeed her biological parent. Will she triumph in this legal battle and reclaim her father's love? Let's dive into the emotional roller coaster.
Miss Tucker are not the father. I'm sorry, Adriana.
It's okay. I just want an answer so that I don't have to keep interrupting his life or,
His own brother be the father of this child? Seriously? How could Miss Brogdon have relations with both brothers simultaneously? Now, this might either pique your interest or leave you utterly disgusted. Proving to the deceased man's family that this child belongs to them won't be a walk in the park. That's for sure.
Ms. Sugden, you say without a doubt that your brother did not father Ms. Brogdon's daughter. You say the stress of her accusations have affected your mother greatly and is preventing her from healing after the loss of her son. Is that correct?
Fast forward a bit, and things are getting even more complicated. Mr. Brogdon dropped a bombshell claiming that Tiana knows Paul isn't the father, but Tyrell is. However, Tiana insists that Tyrell might be the father. Meanwhile, Tiana is primarily concerned about her family and the turmoil they're enduring due to Timsha's accusations against her brothers.
It's affecting our family too much. We need to get this.
Results are in. Brace yourselves, because Paul is not the father, but Tyrell is. Now, here's the real question. Will they embrace this baby as their own niece? Will they find it in their hearts to love and support her? It's their moment to step up and take responsibility, to make her an integral part of their family.
In the case of Brogdon versus Sugden Jones, pertaining to 17-month-old Quamira Jones, it has been determined by this court. Miss Christina Jones is related to Quamira Jones.
Hold on to your seats, folks. We've got a...
हाँ जी, तो डेटिंग साइट पे मिले, लेकिन उसको नहीं पता था कि शी वॉज मैरिड, क्योंकि उसने अपनी अंगूठी छुपा दी. लेकिन बंदा क्या बोल रहे? यार वो बेवकूफ़ थी, उसे नहीं पता था कि शेर पे सवा शेर है. वो भी मैरिड था और उसने भी अंगूठी छुपा दी थी, तो शेर को सवा शेर मिल गया. लेकिन इन दोनों शेर और शेरनियों की लड़ाई में हुआ क्या? बेचारा पिल्ला फंस गया और पता ही नहीं कि बाप है कि नहीं है. तो देखो, है कि नहीं है, और फिर केस चल रहा है. तुम पैसे दो, पैसे भरो बच्चे के आलन पालन पोषण का, और वो बोलता है नहीं मैं नहीं भरूंगा, तुम तो मैरिड थी, तुमने इसके साथ अफेयर किया, तुमने उसके साथ अफेयर किया. और वो बंदी बोलती है तुम भी तो मैरिड थे, तुम इसलिए नहीं करना चाहते हो क्योंकि तुम्हारी वाइफ है या फिर तुम्हारे और भी अफेयर्स हैं, तुम पैसे नहीं देना चाहते हो. जाके एपिसोड्स देखो यार पैटर्निटी कोर्ट के. गॉड, कैसे कैसे लोग हैं दुनिया में.
Father of her 7-month-old baby. But the twist? She thinks he's shirking his responsibility because his current girlfriend turned him against them. Is this the truth? Or is there another side to this?
Miss Parker, in your suit, you claim Mr. Morton fathered your 7-month-old son, Aaron, while in a relationship with his current girlfriend.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say the only reason he denies paternity is because his girlfriend turned him against you because she's been unable to conceive a child with him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Whoa, hold up! Did you just hear that bombshell? Get ready to have your mind blown. The judge asked how Miss Parker and Mr. Morton continued their affair while he was in a committed relationship. So brace yourselves. Miss Parker was involved with both Mr. Morton and his girlfriend, Mrs. Lemon. That's right, folks. A love triangle.
First of all, Your Honor, that's my big father. Anytime I want to have sex with him, I'm going to have sex with him. I was vulnerable. He called me. You know, we did what we did.
So, hold on. You have a child with Mr. Morton.
Yes, I have a
already.
5-year-old son.
And he's not the child in question.
No, Aaron is.
But you also still continued a sexual relationship.
Yes, with the both of them.
Things got confusing when Miss Parker mentioned a previous miscarriage. Here's the scoop. She was married but got pregnant by her boyfriend and had a miscarriage. How does it relate to the current situation? The judge had to dig deep to make a fair decision. Talk about a complex web of relationships.
Before my boyfriend went away, I was pregnant by him. That's what they're getting confused. I had a whole miscarriage, Your Honor. A whole miscarriage by this man.
Now all of a sudden.
I had a...
You were.
Does the father of Miss Phillips' baby? He'll need to pay half the expenses incurred so far, totaling $993.50. Now, here's the big question. Is that enough? Shouldn't a father be actively involved instead of trying to escape? Food for thought, my friends.
और एक ये बंदी जिसको लगता है कि मैं तो बहुत यंग थी और मैं कभी भी किसी के साथ भी चली जाती थी, और अब जब मुझे बच्चा हो गया, मैच्योर हो गई हूँ, तब यही मैं इसका फादर है बच्चे का. एंड देन शी सेज कि कभी भी किसी के साथ चली जाती हूँ और मैं उसके साथ आई स्लीप अराउंड, बट उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि कोई किसी से भी बच्चा हो जाएगा। कैसे हो जाएगा बच्चा? तो सिर्फ इसी फादर से हो सकता है, बाकी से के साथ करने से तो बच्चा नहीं होता है। ओह कितनी मासूम है ये यार, इतना तो इंडिया में भी लोग मासूम नहीं होते, और वेस्टर्न वाले इतने पढ़े लिखे, इतने फॉरवर्ड, इतने ज़्यादा प्रोग्रेसिव, फिर भी कितनी मासूम है लड़की, बताओ।
She said, that is your daughter that followed me in, and I don't want you telling her anything until I pass away.
You called both of them dad?
I did, yes, Your Honor. I didn't know just how to take this. I just felt like this should have been done, by the adults in my life.
Mrs. Garcia and Mr. Johnson were lifelong friends for over 2 decades. But guess what? The man had been keeping a secret from her for all these years. A secret that could rock their friendship to its core. And it did, as he claimed he was her real father. A roller coaster of emotions coming right up, people.
I've always wanted to have a father. My father was very abusive, and I watched my mother go through a second marriage with the same type of abuse. So I've always felt close to Rusty, and I never knew why. I never could understand this feeling, that was always there with him. So today, if it's true, I want to know it.
Lee Garcia, Mr. Johnston, you are not her father.
This young lady is very important to me. I love her. She is my child. And as far as anything goes on my part, if she needs me, I'm there.
While Miss Sheets had spent her whole life believing 2 possible men had the potential of being her father, the defendant, on the other hand, just got wind of this news pretty recently. Talk about the shock of a lifetime, right? And now these guys were here to get to the bottom of this paternity mess.
I've been with her since.
A kid. I did everything with whoever. 18,
So you had grown up that year?
I wasn't grown up. No.
So you tried to get pregnant on purpose by
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am, I
Jennings
did.
because you wanted to marry him that
Yes,
bad.
ma'am, I did, and I don't regret it. I'd do it again.
A tumultuous relationship was built on shaky ground, and now it was shaken like crazy. Miss Salvo wanted the defendant to step up and be a father, but he wasn't singing that tune. Not so much. Apparently, the guy had proof that he wasn't the father, and baby mama was very particular about her taste in men.
How involved has Mr. Gonzalez been in your daughter's life thus far?
Your Honor, he knows Amaya's his daughter, but he refuses to take care of him. I've never, ever had sex with any Hispanic man but him. I prefer black people. I don't like Hispanic men. I was intoxicated at the time. I was drunk. He came over. He got me at the right time.
Miss Salvo?
I went to get something to drink in the kitchen. When I opened the fridge, I was naked. Her mom saw me. Her mom was like, wow. Her mom didn't get mad at me or nothing.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
You were naked in her kitchen and she said, wow.
Yes, ma'am.
The plot thickened as the baby mama explained the circumstances that led up to the pregnancy, juggling men like a circus performer. Yup. But in her defense, it was only 2 men. Guess she was playing the field and doing her thing.
The reason we stopped with contact because he did help me financially.
In just what?
His current kids look a lot different than that.
Now, initially, the baby mama wasn't sure baby Amaya was her boyfriend's, but that theory went out the window pretty soon when she started resembling the defendant day by day. And so, the alarm bell started ringing off in her head. She had picture evidence to support her claim.
Of Miss Salvo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Salvo.
He's lying.
Miss Salvo, were you with any other men during this window of time?
No.
Besides your ex-boyfriend and Mr. Gonzalez?
I was with nobody. I don't even know who his supposed to be best friend is because he didn't even talk to nobody.
A wild ride of emotions and questionable decisions coming right up, people. Better buckle up. Looks like Miss Salvo took a trip to the mall to meet a certain someone, and the supposed motorcycle rendezvous ultimately ended up exposing her.
Miss Salvo, do you remember that afternoon, that evening?
Your Honor, the day I went to the mall was to meet up with my current ex-boyfriend. That was when 18 and under. Yeah, I was young and dumb. I was
a kid. I did everything with whoever.
So you had grown up that year?
I wasn't grown up, no.
Even after all that, Miss Salvo still claimed she was faithful to only 2 men. Yeah, but Mr. Gonzalez wasn't buying it. Nope. Was it a circus? Supreme over here, as the baby daddy shared another instance involving yet another Mexican man. Yep, Mama couldn't get enough.
Your Honor, that boy's been obsessed with me since elementary school. I've been with him since elementary school. He said he wanted a kid
You've
by
been with him since
No,
elementary?
not with, no.
Okay.
No. He was just a friend, but nothing sexual has ever occurred.
But was that the statement you made to Mr.
No,
Gonzalez?
Your Honor, I told him specifically that he wanted a kid by me.
All this ruckus led to the baby mama raising the baby all by herself. She claimed the baby daddy was of no help at all. Mr. Gonzalez immediately came to his own defense. However, the real role of the father was being played by the plaintiff's fiancée. Yeah, the woman was engaged now. No kidding.
Ms. Salvo says you've been there to help her with the child.
I've been there since day one, since Mike came out.
So was Mr. Gonzalez there? Not there?
No.
And so what do you know about this situation?
Oh, I know. I feel like I'm the daddy, but I don't even have no equipment to be the daddy. But I am the daddy.
Enough with this drama. These guys went nowhere.
Determined by this court that you are not the father.
Can I still come around and see Amaya and help her out if I can? Because for a year and 4 or 5 months, she's been my daughter and she's still going to be my daughter. And I told her that before she came in the show.
एक ऐसा केस जो मैंने इसमें नहीं डाला है, अगर वो आप चाहते हैं कि मैं डालूं, उसका मैं आपको ये बताती हूँ कि उसमें बंदा जो है मैरिड है, बंदा बोलते है कि उसने अपनी वाइफ को कॉम्प्रोमाइजिंग पोजीशन में उसके बॉयफ्रेंड के साथ पकड़ा और फिर उसकी वाइफ बोलती नहीं, उसका बॉयफ्रेंड जो है वो बहुत तकलीफों से गुजर रहा था तो वो उसे सपोर्ट कर रही थी। ये कैसा घंटा सपोर्ट है यार। और पति, भगवान ऐसा पति हर चीटर औरत को मिले, उसका तो मतलब ड्रीम गाय होगा ये, ड्रीम गाय। तो वो बोलते हैं हाँ तकलीफों से गुजर रहा है तो आ जाओ साथ में रह लो, अपने घर पे रख लिया। थ्रीसम चल रहा है, माइंड गेम चल रहा है, क्या चल रहा है? ये चल क्या रहा है? और फिर वो बोलते हैं कि इंडिया बैकवर्ड है। भाई तुम्हारा जैसा फॉरवर्ड तो नहीं चाहिए किसी को यहाँ पे, तुम ही रहो फॉरवर्ड, तुमको मुबारक हो। इतना एजुकेशन, इतनी फॉरवर्डनेस इंडिया में नहीं चाहिए किसी को, हमें तो नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि फिर हमें कोर्ट जाके ये प्रूव नहीं करना है कि बाप कौन है। तुम्हें करने हैं क्या? नहीं ना। तो फिर इस वीडियो को लाइक करो, शेयर करो, सब्सक्राइब करो। अगर इस वीडियो पे 1000 लाइक्स आते हैं, या चलो यार अभी तो हम बच्चे हैं, अभी हमने चैनल स्टार्ट किया है, तो अगर 500 लाइक्स आते हैं तो मैं इस पे एक दूसरा पार्ट बनाऊंगी, लव सेक्स एंड धोखा, किसने किसको ठोका, बाप कौन है बे। बाय। हम तो ऐसे हैं भैया, हम तो ऐसे हैं भैया, हमारा अमेरिका है भैया, जहाँ पे भैया भी बनता है सैया। इस केस में बंदे को नहीं पता है कि उसके बच्चे का बाप बंदा है या बंदे का भाई है। एक केस जिसमें उनको नहीं पता है कि बच्चे का बाप बंदा है या बंदे का बाप है। तो बच्चा क्या बोले, पापा, चचा, दादा या पापा? बहुत कंफ्यूजन है। यही होता है फॉरवर्ड कल्चर का इफेक्ट। अब देखो क्या है अमेरिकन कल्चर, वेस्टर्न कल्चर, कुछ नहीं है। लव सेक्स एंड धोखा, किसने किसको ठोका। बहुत ही अश्लील है यार, बहुत अश्लील है। मुझे तो कभी कभी हंसी आती है कि कौन किसके साथ, बहुत कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है देख के कि यार ये इसके साथ था, फिर इसके साथ था, फिर इसके साथ था, फिर इसके साथ था, या थी था या थी। और भुगतना किसको पड़ता है? बच्चे को, बेचारे को। यार क्या चल क्या रहा है अमेरिका में? गॉड यार, बंद करो।
The lady who decided to have a little paternity adventure with not one, not two, but 3 lucky gentlemen. Now she finds herself lost in the twisted maze of determining the biological father of her daughter. If only I had a dime for each man she got cozy with. Never mind.
I was married, and I was really going through a bad time with my husband. We was going through some things, and I sought comfort in Mr. Bailey. 8-year relationship. Throughout the whole 8 years, we've messed around.
So this has been a long-term relationship that extended
Yes,
to
Your
the
Honor.
time during your marriage.
It wasn't a relationship.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, it was.
What sort of a blame is that? But it does seem quite logical, I believe. And you better do some explaining there, Mr. Bailey. And also, if you could have just logged on to Airbnb, you just never had to be in this situation. Mystery created by Miss Smith.
It has been determined that the biological father is Mr. Bailey. That's the news you wanted, right?
No, actually not.
So who did you want to be the father?
I would rather deal with Mr. Anderson than deal with him any day.
Hold on now.
Imagine what will happen if you catch your boyfriend cheating on you. No clue? Well, how about we give you some ideas? Well, number 1 on the list is to sign up for divorce. Too cliche. How about you do the same? But beware of the consequences, as Miss Greer, who's now playing Who's the Daddy, is in paternity court after getting pregnant.
I found out that he cheated on me, and I wanted to get revenge, and I met this man on a dating website. I slept with him, and I found out I was pregnant. I didn't have nobody, and I just wanted to do it.
And you didn't use protection even with a man you barely knew?
No, Your Honor.
I found out she was pregnant.
Oh, Miss Greer, you know you've put yourself in a position from where there's no point of return. And this paternity triangle can only be solved with professional help of the DNA queen. So how about we kill the cat in Mr. Thompson's heart by reading out the results? Here we go.
It has been determined by this court that her biological father is Mr. Thompson. I can see it in your